Hi, it's Cass here. I wanted to talk about veganism. Recently, I started to eat a vegan diet or vegan way of eating. I hesitate to call it a diet because diet always rings bells that it's a weight loss program, and this is not a weight loss program. I went into this for my health, and some people have been curious about why I did it, and I said that I would put up a video about what's going on. So this is said video. I started doing this because I've gradually developed various health problems over the years. I have always struggled with my weight ever since I was a child, really. I remember going on my first diet while I was still in probably fifth grade at school when I was 11 years old, and I thought I was fat, and I've been fat in my mind ever since. Whether that was actually true or not, I've always been a little bit overweight, but over time, and lots of you can relate to this, a lot of yo-yo diets. I tried all sorts of things, and I have expanded a bit. I've got a blog post at casssummers.com. I've expanded a little bit on what I'm going to say in this video, so you can read various things I've tried over the years. So I gradually put on a lot of weight, and I went from being probably at the high end of a normal weight range into being overweight and then to being obese, and eventually ended up at morbidly obese. And morbidly obese, well, the word morbid means death, doesn't it? So morbidly obese was actually life-threatening. And by that stage, I was in my 50s, and I went, desperation, went to a surgeon and said, "Can you help me?" And I had bariatric surgery, weight loss surgery. So that was reasonably successful. Well, it was very successful. I lost 40 kilos. But along with that came a price to pay, and that price was acid reflux. And I've had this gastroesophageal reflux disorder for years now. It's very painful every day, and if I don't control it with medication, it's unbearable. It's got to the point where I don't want it to continue. I don't want to keep medicating myself every day for the rest of my life. So I'm having that investigated. And I was looking around for what can I do, and I sort of came across the veganism through a bit of a convoluted way. I've often said I want my life to be simple. My life tends to get very complex, and I take on too many things. And for quite a few years now, I've been travelling light, and so I've been doing research on packing light and travelling light, and then sort of building capsule wardrobes so that when you travel, you're travelling light, and that sort of led me into eventually to looking at minimalism, which very much appeals to me, and I'm working on it, although you can tell from the books behind, I haven't yet conquered the books, but I have conquered jewellery and my clothes and a few things in the kitchen and so on. Anyway, so through minimalism, I came to see that people were vegan. A lot of minimalists are vegans, and so there seemed to be a connection there. So then I started investigating that further, and the health benefits became very apparent to me. So I thought, okay, I'll try this. I'll give it a go for a couple of weeks or a month and see if if it has any effect on me, because I was really starting to think that the reason I was having all these little aches and pains that I have, plus this acidy thing, was probably nutrition based. So anyway, that's a bit of a long preamble. You want to know the outcome. I have been doing this for about 5 weeks now, and I feel so much better. I've still got the acid problem, but I have lost a few kilos, which was a bit of a bonus because I didn't expect that to happen immediately, because some people have said it takes years to get over metabolic damage that you do to yourself through yo-yo dieting and eating strangely. But I have lost a couple of kilos. I'm told my skin looks better. My fingernails are certainly a little bit stronger. They're not splitting and chipping as often as they were. They're still quite short, and I've never really bothered, trying to have long fingernails because they're not practical, but they don't break as much as they used to. And I am feeling better. I'm sleeping better. I feel a little bit more energetic, and I feel sort of cleaner. I think my mouth feels better. I feel a lot better. People have asked me, where do you get your protein? That's a very common question that vegans get asked. Well, it turns out we don't need as much protein as we've been led to believe. 5 to 10% is probably as much protein as you need. And in fact, I just read something today on Facebook that somebody was doing longevity studies looking at 100-year-olds in various communities around the world, and something they had in common was about a 60% carbohydrate percentage of what they ate is carbohydrates. And when you look at, lots and lots of slim Asian people living on rice, it's not a surprise to me that that's the big thing, that we in the Western world, we tend to eat a lot of protein, and we've been sort of brainwashed by the egg and dairy and meat industries, protein, protein, protein. But in fact, I'd rather eat fruit. So I'm eating lots of fruit, and it's really nice. And it seems a much more natural way to me to eat. We are not natural meat eaters. I certainly haven't got the teeth to rip an animal apart with my bare hands or with my teeth and eat it. The idea of eating raw meat doesn't appeal to me, so don't tell me that we evolved to eat raw meat, because I don't buy that. The idea of pulling a banana off a tree or picking up a mango that's fallen to the ground when it's ripe and eating it, that's much more appealing to me than picking up a rabbit or a fish and trying to eat it with just my teeth and my bare hands. Yes, cooked meat does taste quite delicious, but what do we have to do to make it taste delicious? We have to cook it. We have to add all sorts of sauces and spices and whatnot. We have to cook it to kill the bacteria, where our stomachs can't cope with the bacteria. Whereas a dog, which is a natural predator, their stomach has a bacterium which can cope with meat that's decomposing and going bad. So they're actually carnivores, and I don't think we are. Anyway, I'm really enjoying this way of eating. I feel a lot better for it, and I think that this short-term experiment, I think I can do this for a long time. So I've written quite a long blog post about it with a few links to various things. It's at casssummers.com, as I said, so go ahead, read that. I'm not going to put any links in the description below to other YouTube channels, but I've put some into my blog. And let me know what you think. Are you a vegan? Do you include vegan meals? Do you have a meat-free Monday, for instance? Would you consider going vegan for a month or 6 months as an experiment? Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll probably do another update in the future.